și tu mergi, voi cu o țară și acum mergi.这个买后面的把什么那个？ quality job.
प्रेम से बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की, Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki. Devotees, let us please stand as we commence with the Antiesh Samskar, or the final rites and rituals upon the passing of our dear father, uncle, neighbor, friend.
Today we ask Bhagavan Shri Krishna to be present with us during this proceedings and to allow us the opportunity to send this physical form back to the elements. I'd ask that you just put your phones on silent if you are able to do so. And let us put our hands together, close our eyes and bow our heads. Those who are of the Hindu faith, you take that form of Bhagavan Shri Krishna in your mind. And those who are not, you take whatever form or formless entity that you call or you assume as God, and hold that there. And we ask that our dear Father, as he leaves this mortal coil today, as his body is
committed, that
we commit them to your grace. Let us pray. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha,
Shri Saraswate Namaha, Shri Guru Charana Kamalabhyo Namaha.
Om
Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistave Vede Sangapada Kramopanishade Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Navido Sura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanoramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Om Apavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastam Gatopiva Yah Smarit Pundarikaksham Sabhahyabhyantara Shuchihi. Om Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. Om Tat Sat Adyah Shrimad Bhagavato Mahapurushasya Vishnuragnaya Pravartamanasya Brahmano Dvite Parade Shvetavadha Kalpe Saptame Vaivasmanvantare Ashtavimshatam Kalyuge Kali Prathama Charane Jambo Dipe Vistinis Kali Trinadeshe. Om Shri Madras Rame Shri Ashadamase Krishna Pakshe Naumi Tithau Uttar Bhadrapar Nakshatre Saubhagya Yoge Taital Karane Shri Guru Vardini. You take your names, the Shrotas. Take your name, your family name. Take the name of that dearly departed. Nam Manah Kayik Vacha Sikmanasik
Nataknata Sakaladoshi Pariyartam Shrote Smriti Puranokpapraptartam Mate Shri Anti Samskaram Maham Karishe.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Everyone. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Prem se bole Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Can I have your seats? Okay, so devotees, we are here to, in various capacities, to say goodbye to that form, that physical form. Today is the last day that we will gaze upon this form that we so fondly associate with, that we have attached ourselves to. Today marks that day when that form will no longer be with us. And we perform rites and rituals according to our shastras and according to our traditions. Some of it have changed and some of it will change, but we adhere to the principles that was laid down to us as best as we can. So essentially what we are doing today is we are preparing this body for that final committal into that homa, that havan, that final havan that he will be our brother will be participating in. So we begin by the
Offering of water or the purification. Touch his hand. Om Bhur Swaha Gotrasya Pretasya Shri Sharir Snanam Maya Diyate Tava Upatishtatham. Om, stop right here. Sprinkle water. Bhur Swaha Gotrasya Pretasya Shri Sharir Snanam Maya Diyate Tava Upatishtatham. Good. Chandan. The offering of Chandan. Chandanam Upatishtatham. Om Bhur Swaha Gotrasya Pretasya, the offering of sweet smelling oils. Gandham Maya Deyate Tava Upatishtatham. Gandham Tava Upatishtatham. Same thing here. The offering of incense. Just light it with the arm. Om Bhur Swaha Gotrasya Pretasya Shri Dhupam Maya Diyate Tava Upatishtatham. Bhur Swaha Gotrasya Pretasya Dhupam Maya Diyate Tava Upatishtatham. And devotees, now we have the offering of the malas. So give each one of them one. And devotees, the malas have significance. It is used as adoration, yes, but it represents something more. And the breaking of the mala also has two major importance. One, obviously, it's for practical reasons to adore the body. But the second reason is if you look at the more esoterical meaning, if you look at the mala, it contains flowers from different flower trees, different shapes, different sizes, different colors, different types as well. And it represents each one of our lives. In Sanatan Dharma, we believe that we continue on this life until death, and then we are reborn. And each one of these flowers represents that. And we are entangled in this world of samsara, which is cyclic in nature, a circle, continuous. Puranapi maranam, puranapi jaranam. Again death, and again birth, and again death. But the purpose of our life is not to be confined to that cycle. When we finally achieve moksha or liberation, we break that cycle and we merge with that supreme consciousness. So the action of breaking that mala represents that as well. Breaking this world of samsara, breaking this cycle of birth and death. And we ask that eventually may our beloved in the Atma, as he continues and he is reborn again and again, eventually may he break this world, may he break this cycle of samsara and never return to this world. So you place the malas. Om Bhud Bhuva Swaha. Yeah, you first. Gotrasya Pretasya Pushpam Pushpamala Maya Diyate Tava Upatishtatam. And then you put a little lower and then a little lower. Right? Om Bhud Bhuva Swaha. Gotrasya Pretasya Pushpamala Maya Diyate Tava Upatishtatam. Okay, so now I'll ask everyone to please stand as we perform Arati, and we'll perform Circumambulation 5 times, and then after, the rest of you all can have your seats and so on. The immediate members of the family, just immediate members of the family can come forward and offer their flowers and so on as well during the Arati. Everyone will get an opportunity at the end. So we just allow just members of the immediate family. So I'll just do Arati like this around the whole body. Start here. Come here. Do Arati here. So around the whole, from head to toe. Touch here. Come on this side. And then you all walk around 5 times, right? Om Yam Dvare Mahaghore Andhena Tamasavrite Tatravalokamartaya Deepo Yam Tava Upatishtatam. Right, walk around and continue doing the Arati. We join in a bhajan, popular bhajan everyone should know. Continue doing Arati while you're walking. Jai Krishna Hare Shri Krishna Hare Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare Jai 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 Krishna Hare Jai Krishna Hare Shri Krishna Hare Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare Jai 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 Krishna Hare जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा हो जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा हो और कोई न केवन हारा हो फिर तू ही बेड़ा पार करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा पूर्ण
पूरन कर दे सबकी आशा, जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे, जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे। दुखियों को दुख दूर करे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय 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 krishna hare. Members of the immediate family can come forward now. The rest of you all can have your seats. You just form a neat line. You have to wear orni, right? You put one orni on your head, right? Yeah. हरि हो राम मिलन कब होय, अंडिजवा लागे रहे। हरि हो राम मिलन कब होय, अंडिजवा लागे रहे। देही अरथवा में इंद्रियन पहिया, देही अरथवा में इंद्रियन पहिया। भव के पंत चले, ओ भव के पंत चले, अंदिजवा लागे रहे। हरि हो राम मिलन कब होय, अंदिजवा लागे रहे। पाप निश्चय में जीवन निंदिया, पाप निश्चय में जीवन निंदिया। भजन के भोर भये, ओ भजन के भोर भये, अंदिजवा लागे रहे। हरि हो राम मिलन कब होय, अंदिजवा लागे रहे। जाग्रत स्वप्न सुषुप्तितुरैया, जाग्रत स्वप्न सुषुप्तितुरैया। जीतो तब राम मिले, ओ जीतो तब राम मिले, अंदिजवा लागे रहे। हरि हो राम मिलन कब होय, अंदिजवा लागे रहे। वेद पुराण ग्रंथ बहुव्यंजन, वेद पुराण ग्रंथ बहुव्यंजन। पाकर बांझ भली, ओ पाकर बांझ भली, अंदिजवा लागे रहे। हरि हो राम मिलन कब होय, अंदिजवा लागे रहे। हरि हो राम मिलन कब होय, अंदिजवा लागे रहे। जय नंद लाला जय गोपाला, जय नंद लाला जय जय। श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हर का प्यारा नाम है। श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हर का प्यारा नाम है। मोर मुकुट सिर गलबर माला, केसर तिलक लगाए, केसर तिलक लगाए। मोर मुकुट सिर गलबर माला, केसर तिलक लगाए, केसर तिलक लगाए। वृंदावन के कुंज गलन में सबको नाच नचाए, ओ सबको नाच नचाए। श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हर का प्यारा नाम है। यमुना किनारे धेनु चुरावे माधव मनन मुरारी, माधव मनन मुरारी। यमुना किनारे धेनु चुरावे माधव मनन मुरारी, माधव मनन मुरारी। मधु मुरलिया झबी बजावे हरले सुर बुर सारी, ओ हरले सुर बुर सारी। श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हर का प्यारा नाम है। गिरिधर नागर कहती मीरा सूर को श्याम लुभाया, सूर को श्याम लुभाया। गिरिधर नागर कहती मीरा सूर को श्याम लुभाया, सूर को श्याम लुभाया। तुक राम और नाम देव ने विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गाया, ओ विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गाया। श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हर का प्यारा नाम है। राधा शक्ति बिना न कोई श्यामल दर्शन पावे, श्यामल दर्शन पावे। राधा शक्ति बिना न कोई श्यामल दर्शन पावे, श्यामल दर्शन पावे। आराधन करे राधे राधे कान्हा भागे आवे, ओह कान्हा भागे आवे। श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हर का प्यारा नाम है। श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हर का प्यारा नाम है। जय नंद लाला जय गोपाला, जय नंद लाला जय गोपाला, जय नंद लाला जय गोपाला। ओम यम द्वारे महाघोरे अंधेनात्मसावृते तत्रावलोकमार्ताया दीपोऽयं ताव उपतिष्ठताम्।
right, so Sitaram again. I understand that someone will be given the eulogy, so I'd ask that person to come. We're not going to be too long because the weather is inclement. So, anybody named Clement? Okay.
So I'll be reading on behalf of Vani. All right. Dad, where do I start? You were more than just a father. You were our rock, our confidant, and our biggest cheerleader. You always knew how to make us laugh, even when we were down, and you were always there to listen and offer a helping hand. Your love for our family was unwavering. You taught us the importance of kindness, compassion, and perseverance. You showed us what it means to be a good man and a loving father. I'll forever cherish the memories of our family gatherings, the long talks we had, and the unconditional love you showed us all. You were a man of integrity, always doing what was right, even when it was difficult. You instilled in us the values of honesty, hard work, and respect for others. You had a quiet strength and a gentle soul. You were a man of few words, but your actions spoke volumes. You were always willing to help those in need, no matter the cost. Your sense of humor and infectious laugh will always be remembered. You had a way of making everyone feel welcomed and loved. This was so sudden. You took a part of each one of us with you. I imagined you marrying us one by one, but here we are, sending you off before that could happen. I'll miss your random jokes, the way you'd say, "You walking in with a bottle, Amit teaching you good," and I'd reply, "Well, you'd rather someone pick me up and carry me, or I go with someone I know?" Or I'd say from small, "You were giving me the bottle, and this is just an upgrade." You always sat down and gave us the best advice, whether it was about career, family, spending, or even liming. I'm not sure who will knock on our windows in the morning now and then say you were just cleaning. I speak for everyone when I say you were one of the kindest souls. You were always generous, willing to help, even if it meant sacrificing your last dollar. I don't know how you did it, but you managed to raise us all without ever letting us know you were struggling. Before you left, you made sure to talk to everyone. You smiled, waved, and even joked around. You saw me sitting in the gallery, smiled, and asked what I was doing there. Little did I know that an hour later, I'd see you take your last breath. Daddy will continue to make you proud. Today, as we say goodbye, I want to thank you for everything you did. Your love, your guidance, and your unwavering support made us who we are today. We love you, and we will carry your love with us always. We're so grateful for the time we had with you, for the lessons you taught us, and for the love you gave us so freely. We'll miss you more than words can say. Again? Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so I'll leave anyone else would like to say a few words? Share words of condolences, words of support, a little memory. I'll leave the floor open now. So you'll just come up, introduce yourself, and briefly say what you have to. It won't stay open for long, eh? So... No one wants to offer some words of condolences or...
Panditji, Sitaram, and good of Suresh. I had the pleasure of knowing him from a child growing up. As the eulogy said, you can only highlight some parts of a person's life. I'm not going to say much, I just add a little to what I just want to say. I live in this Southland, but I used to come up to the airport regularly. And on my way back, I would not be too busy to visit at this home. And I was welcomed with warmth. Marla is an amazing person. She had that smile and welcomed us together. And in a short time, she will get to the kitchen and make up a dish quickly. And there was Suresh there, welcoming us, opened his arms to us, opened the doors to us. He's very kind-hearted, very simple. As was said, however he did it to grow up his family. I know them, I remember her very well, as a little girl visiting here. So all I would like to say, we ask God to give the family the strength, the comfort that they need to go through this period. And may his soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Okay, so now that Auntie started, anyone else?
If no one else speaks, you'll have to hear my voice for a while. Huh? All right, so Sitaram, everyone. Just about, over a year ago, I would have presided over a funeral in Enterprise in Chaguanas, close to the Southern Main Road. And I met this gentleman. And during the proceedings, he was so respectful. And a couple times, I think for the Bandara, I stayed back a little bit and had a little chat with him. And he sat and he, shared some thoughts. And it got me deep insight into just a little bit of his life and so on. And when I got the call that he had left, passed away, I was a bit surprised because, it is difficult for us to understand sometimes for someone who we knew as full of life and being so energetic to now have to be placed in this position. And we are left now to wonder, what shall we do? How shall we make out? Auntie spoke, she's from the Southland. Today is Labor Day, I believe, and Corpus Christi as well. So I guess there's a tradition of planting stuff for Corpus Christi. Plant seeds and so on. Labor Day celebrates the struggle of the working class in Trinidad and Tobago. And those who know your history a little bit, and you know of the struggle that formerly Krishna Devanarayan, they represented the working class. And
in the cane fields, or I'm speaking we as a people.
Not me particularly.
I did not have that experience.
Admittedly.
But the older ones, they would toil in the cane fields. They would still come home. They would make their own food.
They would feed their family. They would ensure that their children have something that no one else could take away. You can see, you can take away wealth, you can take away money and car and house and all of those things. But education, they educated their children with that sacrifice. Not only education in terms of secular education in schools, but they also educated in terms of introducing them into a
a wonderful way of life, Sanatan Dharma, and continuing with the practices that we do today. Pujas and performance of funeral rites and so on. So they struggled. I'm sure that he would have worked very hard to ensure that his children and grandchildren are happy. And I'm sure many of us here, we know the sacrifices we made, and we know the sacrifices our parents make. And then we come down on our children because we say, you know, they are not working as hard, or we think that they are not working hard. Now, devotees, that's a little mistake. You see, the challenges that were faced by generations are different. So, whereas we thought a tablet long ago was something when you're sick, you take a tablet. Now, a tablet is given to comfort children and to communicate and to seek education and so on. So even the language is different. Today marks the day when his struggle, because a parent's work is never done. Until the day they die, they work. They work in ensuring you. Do you all think that when you go out to Lime and so on, and you want to have a good time, and they say yes, you go. When they are at home, what do? They don't go to sleep, you know. The parents are always looking out through the window. They're always peeping to see when you come back home. And only when you close that gate and you enter home, then they feel a sense of comfort. That is the love that a parent has for a child. Today marks the end of that responsibility. And what is there for us to do now as members of the family and as members of the congregation? Now we live, the residents here live very close to the airport. I used to work at that time, BB. I don't know how many of you all remember BB. You all might be too young. But, so I'm giving away my age a little bit. So I used to work BB, so I had to stop plane. So we didn't have this fancy airport during my time, you know, they built over the airport and so on. There was an old airport where the old airport is now the cargo area. And we had something called a waving gallery. You know how many of you all remember that? So during the 80s especially, there were a lot of people leaving Trinidad and emigrating to the US and to Canada. And because there was a struggle for papers, we didn't know when or if we would ever see them again. I know how many of you all remember that. And we'd cry when they enter into the gates. And we would not leave there. We will go to the waving gallery and watch the plane take off and wave. It's called a waving gallery because we wave. Obviously, they can't see us, but we are saying goodbye. And in our hearts, that gave us some sort of comfort. Well, now with modernization and so on, you don't have that. When they leave the gate, that's it, right? But it was a time for us to say goodbye. And sometimes some people just going for 2 weeks and we were crying and thing to her. But in that time, we didn't know. The future was uncertain. When they go, what would happen? Today is something like that. When we say goodbye to this form that had nourished us, that had cared for us, that had loved us for so long, we are not entirely certain what is their afterlife, after death. We don't know, but we take guidance from our scriptures. We take solace and comfort from those words. And those words in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, Bhagwan Shri Krishna says that this body, just like clothing, where old clothes are discarded and we assume new ones. And I remember telling him this for his mother's funeral, where I said life is like a bus ride or I don't know if you all remember that, a bus ride or a train ride, where you sit and you enjoy the company of someone. And after a little while, someone presses the bell and someone comes off. And we continue on that journey. The same way, we are in this world now, we have to continue this journey. And how do we continue it? We do what would make him proud. Because he has left something. Besides house and car and so on, he has left principles, he has left morals,
He has left a standard of life for which we have to adhere to. We have to be certain that we live up to. And that is all the rites and rituals that you do, every arati that you do, every tear that is shed, means nothing if we do not live up to how he would want us to live our life. So as you go about this for the family members, Govinda and the rest, live your life to make him proud. Always think what he would want you to do. I lost both my parents in 2010, just a couple months apart. And this is how I live my life. Every morning I say a prayer and I, thank them for being in my life and inculcating what they did in me. And I pray that this day, please let me do that which will make you proud. And if you keep that in your mind, then you will be in good stead. So for funerals, I don't like to, go beleaguer the point, and I don't like to preach and so on. But it is a time when we will perform these rites and rituals and just a basic understanding. When we leave here, we will be making 5 stops. It's called a manzil. And those 5 stops represent the 5 elements for which every single thing in creation is made out of. Earth, fire, wind, water, and akash. The elements, we say goodbye. Those are the elements that make up the body. Those are the elements that make up any material things. And they have to be returned. So we say symbolically, please return to where you came from. The elements. And when that body is placed in the pyre, we perform tarpan and we say, your Atma now begins that journey, and that journey to another form and to eventual absorption in the divine consciousness called God. So we always keep that in mind. Prem se bole Shri Vrindavan Biharlal ki Jai. So I'd ask if those members who would want to get that last view now, they can do so. But let us stand first and we'd say a prayer. Put your hands together, close your eyes and bow your heads. Come forward. Take forward. Put that by the arm, between the feet. Yeah. That's right. Take forward. So we ask our dear Father, our husband, our brother, our neighbor and our friend, as we begin this journey, please, Lord Krishna, you be present in his life and guide that Atma and guide this family during this period. Let's bow our heads and pray. Om Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasharanam Meghavarnam Shubhangam. Om Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Devyaistave Vede Sangapada Kramopanishade Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyana Vastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Navido Sura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. प्रेम से बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki jai. You can have your seats, and those who did not get that view, you can do so now. Just watch the camera as you come forward. You'd come around this way. Yeah, put the flowers. We have some flowers still, I believe. We have a few flowers. You can offer your flowers and or flower, and then return around and go back to your seats. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Wait on the arm. Put on your put on that. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. प्रेम से बोले श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय.
你们就看，把你放。